Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is noun phrase 296. The noun phrase today is rabbit hole, and we got 3 meanings and 3 uses. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot. Do it right now. Let's get right to it. All right, here's the first meaning. This is the literal meaning of a rabbit hole or burrow. So that's the hole the rabbit actually digs, and when he's being chased by an animal, he'll go there for protection, or he'll live there, rest there, things like that. All right, here's the second meaning. If someone says that something is going to take one down a rabbit hole or will go down a rabbit hole, it refers to a bizarre, strange, confusing, illogical situation or environment, especially one that is difficult to get out of. Yeah, we use it a lot for this meaning today. And the third one is the most recent one. This is to do with the internet and computers. A series of connected pages on the internet that makes a long distraction from what one is supposed to be doing, especially one's studies or work. So if you're a student and you're doing research, or if you're even a worker and you're doing research, sometimes on the sidebar you have those suggested videos. So something like catch your eye, and you look at one video, it leads to another video, or you just find another topic that you liked as you're researching and you're going from one website to another. And before you know it, you've wasted all this time or used up a lot of time that you're not doing the thing you were supposed to be doing, the research of the work that you were working on. You've gone off in a completely different direction. We now call that going down a rabbit hole too. Okay, good. Let's continue. The origin of the second and the third meaning derives directly from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll's 1865 classic novel. So this is the story of Alice in Wonderland. In the story, Alice falls down a rabbit hole and ends up in a strange, unusual world. So now you can see the connection to the strange, unusual world, a world that you never imagined was there, or that existed, or that illogical, doesn't seem to make any sense. All right, let's continue. All right, and now we got 5 examples to kind of show you how we use it. Again, the first one is the literal one. A fox chased that rabbit down a rabbit hole. Okay. All right, here's the second one. In the movie The Matrix, the character Morpheus says, you take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and you believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. All right, well, if you've ever seen the Matrix movies, I know it's confusing for some people, especially people where English is your second language, but the story is like in the future, I don't know, some aliens kind of took over the Earth, and of course everybody lives in a world that's an illusion. And they actually use us for energy. I know it's kind of crazy, but it makes a good point that, the reality that we think we see and that we know is not the true reality. So, and they actually broke him free. The main character was Neo, and they were trying to wake him up, and that's what they were offering him. They let him choose, because if you take the blue pill, all right, just go back to your imaginary illusion world, and believe whatever you want to believe. Take the red pill, you find out the way things really are. You find out the truth about the world. And in this case, the world was really dark because the aliens kind of destroyed everything, but they made the people see a completely different world that they could control them. And that was the idea. Now, in our modern times, a lot of people often use these lines, both about the red pill and going down a rabbit hole, as when people find out the truth about some things we're told on the news and some things that we're told in books and history books that is supposed to be true, and we find out that's not really the way it is. And so it's kind of like when you find out one thing, you mean that's not true, and that's not true, and now that's not true. That's like going down the rabbit hole. You're finding out more and more, and suddenly the reality is a world that you don't recognize. You realize you've been living at least partially in an illusionary world. So that's kind of the idea of where this story comes from. All right, let's continue. All right, here's the third one. We might use it this way. His investigation has taken him down a rabbit hole. He discovered a dark underworld, like maybe a criminal world. You might see this in a movie. that he never knew existed. And the more he researched, the deeper it went. Yeah, it's kind of like the idea of the dark web. No, most of us don't go there, but if you found out some of the things that exist in the dark web, that would seem like a strange, weird world to you. Like, really? Does that really happen? Does that exist there? So you've gone down a rabbit hole. And once you go there, it's like you can't completely get out of it anymore. So that's kind of what it means. Just like Alice, once she fell down that rabbit hole, she couldn't just climb back out of that hole again. This is the way they mean it. All right, let's read the next one. If you get involved in this war, you'll go down a rabbit hole you may never get out of. Yeah, so sometimes like people get involved, or countries get involved in wars, and they're stuck there for many, many years, and it's not what they imagined it to be, and it ends up being a lot stranger situation than they thought it was going to be. And here's our last one. The last one is the internet one. As I was trying to research this topic, I got distracted by videos on another issue, and before I had known it, I went down a rabbit hole of watching videos for over 3 hours, but they were not the topic that you were originally researching. So you kind of wasted this time. You went all the way in this direction, went all the way into almost like another world. So that's kind of the way we use it. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. I hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.